Hello, we are live. I was watching YouTube and I figured why not just live stream myself watching YouTube? If I'm watching YouTube, then I might as well just be live streaming while I'm watching it in case anyone is curious what I'm watching. So you can watch with me if you want. I usually watch it on double speed. I'm just gonna share this live stream with I'm going live now, just chilling, watching YouTube. Okay, so let's go to subscriptions, web browse. By the way, I already watched the Life in Japan by Mr. 51-year-old Japanese man. That was funny when his daughter here, I'll show you. Did you see that? Where the daughters right here, it just got completely fell apart. Oh, that made me laugh. Oh man. Yeah. So I'm gonna show. I was watching Gooby and Doobie. Let's watch him.
And they said, well, let's change it back to the other place. And I said, okay. And I changed it to this place. Well, let's change it. I don't feel good about it. Good about going to that place. So I booked it. But the next day, that night and the next day, I was like, I really don't feel good about going to that place. I just don't feel like it's right. And I told my wife and my mother-in-law, I was like, I don't feel good about it. And they said, well, let's change it back to the other place. And I said, okay. And I changed it to this place. And I felt good about it again. I felt good about this trip again, like I did before. And so we started driving over here, just my mother-in-law and I this morning. And in order to get to this end of this long lake, it's a 50-mile long lake, Lake Chelan, you have to take a ferry. And we made it to the ferry 10 minutes before we were supposed to depart. And I was sitting down after a long drive. And there's a little newspaper for this area that kind of tells you about the area, some stories about the area, and things that are available. Oh, the sun's peeking out again. It hasn't set. It was behind a cloud, but now it's between a cloud and a mountain. How cool is that? Wow, beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's like a gem on the mountainside. Oh. Well, we were sitting in the ferry and it started going, and there's a newspaper. And I looked at the newspaper, and then I saw, there's an advertisement. That's so windy. I hope you can hear what I'm saying. I hope this audio will come through. It's so windy. Wow. Well, I looked at the newspaper and there's an advertisement for electric cargo bike rental. Right where the ferry drops us off and where the lodge is. And I've never ridden an electric bike before, but in the advertisement it had the bicyclist seat, and then it had a padded cargo seat for a second passenger. And I thought, that's exactly like what I was thinking was, not exactly, I didn't, but I knew that I was going to ride a bicycle with my mother-in-law and she was going to ride on it with me. I just didn't know how. I didn't know where. I didn't even know this place had a e-bike rental. No, the sun's behind the mountain now. So we went to the bike place, and sure enough, they had a couple of those particular types of e-bikes, cargo bikes. They had a bunch of other bikes. And I asked the lady, I was like, well, can we rent it? And my mother-in-law was going to sit on the back. And the lady said, well, that's only meant for kids. But she looked at my mother-in-law and said, well, she is very petite, but we don't allow 2 adults to ride them because it's too hard on the bicycle. And I said, oh, okay. And I was disappointed. But I mean, rules are rules. And then the lady behind the counter said, but your mother-in-law is very petite. I'm like, yeah, she is. And my mother-in-law was like, yeah. And then the lady behind the counter said a third time, yeah, she is very petite. So I said, well, do you think it'll be okay if she rides on the back? And then she said, well, you know, we don't usually do that, but your mother-in-law is very petite, so okay. Nice. Excellent. So we got on, we rented the e-bike. And
that made me laugh. I'm muting myself while I'm watching because I'm watching on my speakers, so I mute myself when I'm watching the video. So that's why you can't hear me react and laugh in real time. But yeah, that one made me laugh.
and the place was going to close in an hour and 40 minutes. And you could either rent it for an hour or 4 hours. And I was like, well, can I just rent it till the end of till 5 p.m.? We'll be back before 5 p.m. And she said, okay. So we got our helmets on, and mother-in-law hopped on the back. And I've never ridden an e-bike, so actually I tried it out first, like to see how the power was on the motor. Ooh, it was a lot of fun. And e-bikes are pretty cool. And the powers are very powerful. What did I just say? I meant to say the motor is very powerful. I think I said the power is very powerful, but the motor is very powerful. Incredible. I've never ridden on an e-bike before. So I kind of got the feel, and I was like, hop on. So she hopped on, and then we went down this road. There's a road over here behind me, and it goes back into the valley. So the end of the lake is above my shoulder there, where the sunset is. And we rode down into the valley that way. And then we went about 2 miles, and then there's like this pastry shop, and it's really cute. We put the kickstand on the bike and went in and they had some ice cream, and so got some ice cream. And we couldn't decide between 2 flavors. There was chocolate peanut butter and a flavor called Moose Tracks. And I asked him, what's Moose Tracks? And so it's just got some chocolate and peanut butter cups in it. And I was like, oh, okay, I can't decide. And I asked my mother-in-law, she's like, I don't know, they both sound good. And so the lady behind the counter said, why don't you just have both? And I said, sure. So we had both in a cup. It was awesome. It tasted really, really good. Well, then we kept going down the road another couple miles on this e-bike, and it was a lot of fun. I felt like I was riding a motorcycle, but it didn't have a combustion engine noise, just the hum of the electric motor. And we got down there, and then there was this big waterfall called Rainbow Falls. Now, I heard about it, but I didn't realize that it actually has a rainbow. I mean, I guess that's why they call it Rainbow Falls, but I didn't put the 2 and 2 together. But it's really cool, this valley.
He lives in Washington State, so it is close to British Columbia. It's pretty much just south of it. So yeah, it's same area for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. Just hearing the water and looking at the sunset and the mountains, and it's absolutely beautiful.
It was formed by a glacier a long time ago. And the glacier was fed by mini glaciers that come in from the valleys up the mountain, like the ones over here. But the mini glaciers, they don't weigh as much because they don't have as much water and ice in them. And so what happens is when the mini glaciers join the big glacier, the Mama Glacier, which is what carved this lake out, there's a drop-off because the mini glaciers they aren't that heavy, so they don't carve much of the valley of the mini valleys. So then there's this steep drop-off between where the mini glaciers meet the Mama Glacier, and that's where.
Yeah, Washington is similar, still the Pacific Northwest. Yep, exactly the same area.
Waterfalls happen. I thought that was really cool. I didn't know that till today. So we biked up to this area where a mini glacier met a Mama Glacier, and there's this big waterfall, and the sun was behind us, and it made this giant rainbow, because that's how rainbows work. When there's mist or water droplets floating in the air, if the sun is behind you, it'll form a rainbow. And actually, every rainbow has a double rainbow. Just the double rainbow is very dim, so you may not see it. That's also why you can't run to the end of the rainbow, because it's an optical effect. It's always in front of you. You can't ever run to one end of the rainbow. It's formed by sunlight bouncing inside of a raindrop or water droplet. Well, we got there, and we got really close to the waterfall. We got very wet. It was intense. I was soaking wet. Water was in my shoes, and I could barely see because there's so much water. I had to put my sunglasses on, and the water was hitting my face, and I was drenched because we were so close to the bottom where the waterfall was hitting the rocks on the bottom. Well, then we came back. We rode our bike back, and we got back like at 4.
Damn, that's crazy. Look at that. Let's watch that again in normal speed. Damn.
We got really close to the waterfall. We got very wet. It was intense. I was soaking wet. Water was in my shoes, and I could barely see because there's so much water. I had to put my sunglasses on, and the water was hitting my face, and I was drenched. because we were so close to the bottom where the waterfall's hitting the rocks on the bottom. Well, then we came back. We rode our bike back, and we got back like at 4:50, right before the shop was closing. And the lady only charged us for an hour. She's like, well, I'm not going to charge you for the 4 hour. I'll just charge you for an hour. I was like, cool, thank you. We had a great time. It was awesome. Well, I thought that was really strange because I had a feeling a week ago that I was going to ride a bicycle with my mother-in-law on the bicycle, but I had no idea how that was going to happen. I didn't even know that this place had that. I didn't know that there was a place you could rent it, but I just had a feeling that that was what was going to happen. I had a feeling that this place was going to be really special, and I wanted to share that with you because I think it's important to trust your feelings and your intuitions, and I think that, yeah, I think that we can feel things in the future. You can't remember them, but you can feel them. But I don't think that it's set either. I think you can make choices one way or the other. Actually, there's many infinite choices. It's not A or B. It's A and B and everything in between A and B. So, yeah, I just want to say trust your feelings, and that we can feel a lot of things that don't really make sense. A lot of things. Science can't explain that. Consciousness is bigger than science. A and B and everything in between A and B. So, yeah, I just want to say trust your feelings, and that we can feel a lot of things that don't really make sense. A lot of things. Science can't explain that. Consciousness is bigger than science. I think it is even more basic to existence than matter is, and feelings are part of that. So, yeah, I'm learning to trust my feelings more, and when I do, pretty cool stuff happens like today, and I'm glad I can share it with you, and this beautiful sunset. Bye.
Damn, that was a pretty good video. I'm gonna leave a comment. I don't always leave I usually don't leave a comment on his, but this one, it's difficult to feel great in YouTube. Let me leave a comment. Let's type was a beautiful that was a beautiful journey you took us on, Jonathan. That waterfall was crazy. And I also laughed when you laughed about getting the bike. Finally getting the bike. Fun story. It was a beautiful journey you took us on, Jonathan. That waterfall was crazy, and I also laughed when you laughed about finally getting the bike. Fun story. Thanks for sharing. I think I knew this guy as a kid. Substitute taught him and now feel compelled to become a better person. I mean, he reminds me of a specific person and oftentimes it turns out true for my intuition. Okay. I'm gonna redo that comment. That was a beautiful fun story. Listening to the water and watching the sunset was serene. Yep. Left a comment. I'm sure he'll see it. Let's go back to subscriptions. Let's see, from Korea.
Many of you probably know jjajangmyeon. Today, I'm making jjajangmyeon with leftover rice. Jjajangmyeon immersed in
Okay, I gotta slow it down.
Many of you probably know jjajangmyeon. Today,
Oh, sorry, I gotta mute the speaker, sorry.
Many of you probably know jjajangmyeon. Today, I'm making jjajangmyeon with leftover rice. Jjajangmyeon emerged in the late 19th century, specifically after Incheon port opened in 1883. Once a luxury, it became affordable after the Korean War and rapid economic growth in the 1960s. It's now a national dish. Enjoy the celebration and everyday meals, especially on moving days.
Okay, I need to make it 1x speed because he's moving and talking at a faster pace than the previous guy, Jonathan, and also it's funny that he's talking about jjajangmyeon because I literally had jjajangmyeon last night. This dish right here, I had it last night. I hadn't had it in a long time, and that's why I decided to have it, and it was good. It was a bit too salty, but it was good. It was cheap. It was like $10. Don't regret it. That was delicious. So it's funny. He's making a video about it. Let's watch.
Many of you probably know jjajangmyeon. Today, I'm making jjajangmyeon with leftover rice. Jjajangmyeon emerged in the late 19th century, specifically after Incheon port opened in 1883. Once a luxury, it became affordable after the Korean War and rapid economic growth in the 1960s. It's now a national dish. Enjoy the celebration and everyday meals, especially on moving days or at graduation ceremonies. I really hope this video helps you understand our culture significance. So, let's go! Some pork and protein, and green onion to prepare this one. So many people want me to watch Korean food, and when I cook Korean food, right? So I prepared some onions, 양배추, in Korean I'm using garlic as well. And this one is 전분, and this one is 단무지. So let's make jjajangmyeon. Right? I already prepared. And just a little bit of salt and pepper. And half of vegetables here. Okay. Black one. So this one is potato starch. I'm gonna add this one. It's very important when you make jjajang. A little bit water and starch here. Yeah. A little bit more. Hot water is good too. Smells amazing. Color is so beautiful, right? The potato starch is very important to make jjajang. You can eat with rice and spaghetti noodle. So now it's almost done. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. So let's see.
When he said I'm so happy, I'm like, damn, he does look very happy. Let's see his face again when he says that.
Almost done. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. So So let's see. Change the left, right? So increase it like 점성이 올라갔어요. I'm gonna try to do it. So I prepared rice is here. And some chives. And a little bit seasoning. The perfect size are 단무지 is pickled radish and kimchi. Yummy. 단무지 balances the richness, while kimchi adds flavor. And fried eggs or side of spicy jjampong broth are also popular addition. This is happiness. It typically uses pork, but today I'm using chicken tenderine as well, made with various ingredients like onion and cabbage, and garlic as well. The rich black color comes from the caramel coloring in the chunjang. Chunjang is black bean paste. Maybe you can try to buy the chunjang in your country as well. I actually filmed other videos today, but unfortunately all the files were lost. So this is the only video I will be editing. Thank you so much for watching, and please leave a comment. Thank you. Lost. Paste. Maybe you can buy the chunjang as well. I actually filmed other videos today, but unfortunately all the files were lost. So this is the only video I will be editing. Thank you so much for watching, and please leave a comment. Thank you.
Interesting. I wonder why he left so much time at the end. One Punch Man! Noni, how was your day? It's a good day at home alone. No GF, no mom, just me and the pets. Alone but not lonely, as this guy's title says. Yeah, I want to leave a comment. Let's leave a comment. I can also share with him my video that I made about him. Let me tell him how many days ago I made it. How many days ago did I make it? 2 weeks ago. Okay. 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Okay. You know, let me show you this so you can see what I'm typing if you have a big enough screen to watch. You know, that was another beautiful video. I laughed when you said I'm so happy and was smiling so bigly. You probably don't know, but 2 weeks ago I made a video commentating on you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's my But 2 weeks ago I made a video commentating on you on my channel. Rooting for you, Ino. Wish we could have seen the lost footage, but this series, Alone but Not Lonely, is off to a fantastic start. Fighting. Does fighting make sense? Oh, introvert dream. Your keyboard is so loud. Must be fancy mechanical. It's supposed to be a silent mechanical keyboard, but it's still pretty loud, yeah. 다음 비디오 기대합니다. 기대하고 있습니다. Wow, there are a lot of comments. There are a lot of comments. Please subscribe and leave a comment. Interesting. Why does he say, please subscribe and leave a comment? Does he know that comments are the drivers of a lot of videos in terms of they get more but not lonely? Let's see. Yeah, someone replied to my comments or liked my comments at the 51-year-old Japanese man video. I said, wow, your wife is allowing you to film with family. Things have improved. Thanks for sharing. Someone liked it. And also my other comment, your daughter sushi falling apart made me laugh, lol. The Buddhists call it samsara. 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 Let's ask AI what samsara is. What is samsara? I heard about it before, but I forgot. Tell me everything about it. Literally means wandering or flowing on. It refers to the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Cycle is driven by karma. Samsara is often described as a state of being trapped repeatedly, taking form in different lives, world's conditions without ultimate peace. Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. Samsara is the cycle of life, death, and rebirth across lifetimes. Buddhism. Samsara is the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, but there is no permanent self. What continues is a casual stream of consciousness shaped by karma. Atman, the soul, is seen as eternal, moving through different bodies. Samsara is marked by dukkha, anicca, and anatta, suffering, impermanence, and no self. Goal, achieve nirvana, extinguish and the causes of rebirth and ending the cycle. Goal: achieve moksha, liberation, ending the cycle and merging the soul with the ultimate reality, Brahman. Samsara. Soul's entrapment. The goal is to free the soul through asceticism, right conduct, knowledge, and achieving moksha. How samsara works: driven by karma. Your actions leave imprints. You're reborn in different realms. Gods, humans, animals, hungry ghosts, hell beings. Samsara is often depicted as a wheel of life. What the hell? Oh dear. The neighbors, the end house is being rented out for Airbnb. I think it's being rented out to a bunch of party goers again. Okay. Close the window. Philosophical themes. Samsara reflects the existential problem. Why do we suffer? Why do we feel trapped in life cycles? Modern interpretation. Some see samsara metaphorically. Repetitive cycles of craving, dissatisfaction, and habit in everyday life. It's not just about literal rebirth, but the psychological cycles we get caught until we awaken. Okay, someone commented, the Buddhists call it samsara. Interesting. I wonder what he's referring to and what exactly I said that he's referring to in that video. That video's still getting views. That this YouTuber is miserable and I can't stop watching, or something like that. Let's see another one. Ray in Japan. Let's do Ray in Japan.
Hey guys, it's Ray. I thought I'm just weird and people don't like me. Yeah, things like that. Everyone around me is fine and doing well. And I'm just strange. And yeah, because the reason I was thinking that is the girl and some tests. And when I was junior high, I liked the girl, and then my friends, I told my friends about that, and then my friend talked to her, and then he was like, what do you think? What do you think about him? And then she was like, he's kind of weird. and then he told me about what she's saying, and then I was shocked. Yeah, I was just 14 years old, and then I couldn't believe that people say to me just kind of weird. And yeah, so after that I thought, yeah, I'm just weird, and then people don't like me, things like that. And also the test, in junior high we had some ranked test, and that was first time, so when I was 12 or something.
Sorry, I forgot I didn't reply to a message. I got a reply. It's 3:14, it's been an hour and a half. I didn't reply to my girlfriend. Yeah, finally. Yeah, the eggplant parmigiana sandwich was pretty good. Ooh, that does sound pretty good. Eggplant parmigiana sandwich. Let's see the emoji, eating, and then weather was so nice took mochi sampo for a walk and then went for a walk myself. I did. I went out for a walk, including the taking her out and taking mochi out. I walked about an hour. Even though with mochi I didn't really walk that much because she just likes going around the neighborhood and then coming back, and so I was waiting for her. But otherwise, let's keep watching this.
And then, yeah, I was in like bottom of the classmates. So, and then I thought, oh, I'm so stupid. Yeah. But I realized, many my classmates went to grammar school, and many classmates bought some extra textbooks, things like that. They studied hard, and then I didn't. So yeah, it's really made sense, right? But I didn't realize about that, and yeah, it crashed my confidence, and yeah, it's kind of bad cycle, right? Yeah, I had no confidence, and then I didn't study, and then next test, absolutely, it's not good score. So yeah, but yeah, after that, the relationship things is kind of getting worse. I mean, yeah, like I was just think I'm just weird, and then I didn't have confidence, so I was really shy to talk girls. Also, yeah, just like strangers, and yeah, I had no specific friends. Yeah, things like that, and yeah, like teenagers, 20s. Generally, the teens, 20s, are like a golden time for many people's life, I guess. But for me, it's kind of disaster. Like, I didn't enjoy my teens, 20s because of the confidence, I guess. I was really, yeah, really struggling how to act like being normal kind of thing. Yeah, and
Who's your buddy in Vancouver again? I must not have watched his content enough given it stopped being recommended, but I remember liking his stuff. Louis Jiao, but he hasn't posted in a while because his videos take so long to script research. You can check him out. We can check. Well, I'll show you his channel. Louis Jiao. Yeah, let's see. Videos: the rise of homeless streamers in China. Man, they're still getting crazy views. It's gonna hit 1 million. How Gen Z killed the Yakuza. This video is gonna hit 1 million views, which is insane. Insane. 1 million views. That's fucking crazy. And his sub count jumped to 20,000 from like 6,000 because of these two big hits. How Gen Z killed the Yakuza and the rise of homeless streamers in China. It's insane, dude. He appeals to the masses, and he's doing a great job. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to Mr. Ray in Japan.
but after like 30s, when I was in 30s, I practiced really hard when I was in teens, 20s, and then I became a jazz musician, jazz guitar player when I was 28. So yeah, like after that, I thought, yeah, I'm not perfect, but I'm not that bad person. I mean, just a weird guy or things like that. Just not not just stupid guy. I mean, I can continue practicing, studying, or yeah, and then I had that skill. I got this skill, and And yeah, around that age, some people say, yeah, like you're great, or yeah, some girl likes me. So yeah, around that age, um, that kind of bad feeling, thought that I had in my teens was gonna change a little bit. And yeah, after that, I I've been studying English, and yeah, I can speak English, and then I got some what is called the good test result, English test result in Japan, and certification I have, and then yeah, I'm not so smart, but if I continue studying or practicing, I can get good result. And then yeah, this fact is really really crucial for me to get confidence, right? And yeah, but it took time. Yeah, that was really really long time, like yeah, decades, 2 decades. Yeah, but yeah, but I'm glad I achieved that kind of my goals, like about music and English. And also, yeah, this channel. I started this channel like last November. So yeah, like, and then now I have 800 subscribers. I can believe it. I mean, yeah, and I got a lot of thoughtful comments, and yeah, many people said like I like your videos, or I agree with your thought. So yeah, like I wish I could I could show this fact for me in my teens. Yeah, maybe he would really surprise. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.
Let's leave a comment. There are only 4 comments here. Let's show you the comments. From one weirdo to another, I have learned in adulthood being a weirdo is a blessing, being normal is overrated. Enjoy your unique qualities. The right people will love it about you. Absolutely embracing who I am helps me attract the kind of people who truly appreciate it. Being weird is actually a gift. Ray, there's nothing wrong with being a bit weird. If you aren't a little weird, then you would be the one of the same copy and paste humans that are more than half of this world now, and always be who you are and who you want to be. Thank you so much. Right, being weird just means being myself. That really resonates with me. There are only 2 comments on this video. Yeah, let's yeah, I also feel the same with you in that my teens and 20s was not a good time, and now 30s and beyond seem to be getting better in terms of how I feel about myself. Let me show you this. Oh, you can't. Okay, can't see. Maybe you show you that. There you go. Now you can see. In terms of how I feel about myself, weird. You're attracting people on YouTube who resonate with you, weirdness and all. Although I never even thought that once that you are weird. Maybe we're the same kind of weird. Weirdos who are happy to be who we are now. I never even once thought that you are weird. That you were weird. Maybe. Okay. Subscriptions. What? They're still? Oh, no. Okay. Vacation with my crush. I don't know. Let's check it out.
I'm gonna show you guys how to do a vacation in Bohol, Philippines. Let's get into it. Awesome, look at that. We're going into the caves.
We're going to the cave.
How do you pronounce that, Pat?
Hinagdanan? Hinagdanan cave.
Okay. All right, we're up.
Only the Korean one.
No. Actually, they thought I was Korean though, because I look Korean. Hey. 481, yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I look. Hi. Hello. Yeah. See? I look more Korean than Japanese. I look more Korean than Japanese, right? You look. Yeah, that's true.
I can look Thai, Chinese, Korean sometimes.
That's true. Depends on your mood.
Yeah.
How well rested you are. So racist. I know.
I don't know. I don't feel like watching this video. Let's see what else. I was watching a bit of Life Outrage, but it was the same thing as always, so I got bored watching it and I stopped watching it. We can have a look, resume. See. Did Louis Zhao give up on YouTube? I remember he said he was done with work life and becoming a YouTuber. No, he's a full-time YouTuber and still working on his next video. Okay, let's watch a bit of Life Outrage.
Did you ever wonder how in life I used to crave connection? Well, in high school I had a friend group and then there was this falling out that happened. I won't get into any details because it's not really important. Point is, right after that, I kind of like felt very lonely. I felt like I needed to, meet new friends, meet new people, because that's all I saw. I went to school and I saw everybody be gathering in groups, having fun, laughing together. Even on social media, social media is already a trap as it is, but on social media you see all these people who are, having fun, having parties, going to clubs, and I was always like, oh man, I wish I was doing those things. Like, why am I not cool like these people? And at some point I did get the opportunity to kind of like, be around more people, and I mean, yeah, sure, it's nice that I got to experience some stuff, but looking back, there is very much a performative nature throughout all those interactions, because I always, looking back, I always feel like I always had a mask. Nothing was actually very authentic or genuine. It was always like, hey, what do you do for work? Oh, I do this and do that. Yeah. Even though, I didn't really have the most perfect life that you'd introduce yourself to people and be like, oh my God, you're doing so well in life. Wow, great, you got a full-time job. Wow, you're doing great in life. You're doing it, man. Whereas the actual reality is that I just had this job based on survival, and it was the only job that was offered to me, so I took it, but it's not like something I was working towards, or it was a goal in my life to get this job or anything. No, it was just a fucking job. It's no big deal, guys. But at some point, with this awareness and this mindset that I'm having right now, it definitely opened my eyes to every social interaction that I'm in, that I've been dealing with in the past couple months, and you can feel how, you have to keep up this image of yourself in order to be seen as normal. And I'm questioning myself all the time, like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I'm not even able to talk to these people about the things I talk about in these videos, because otherwise I'll be seen as, I'll be cast aside, I'll be an outcast, or I'll be seen as weird or a loser, or I'm insane or something, when this is just me right now. This is just how my thought process works right now. I think about everything. I think about
let's see. This guy's too doomer / negative. I get sus when peeps are always negative. I wonder if they do it for clicks. Well, at least right now he's living the neat life. He quit his toxic job, and so I think his day-to-day life is better. But at the same time, his channel name is Life Outrage, so I guess I don't think he's going to show him playing the guitar, which he said he does. It would be cool to see him play the guitar. Yeah, Yeah, I don't think he's gonna show any of that side of his life because his channel name is Life Outrage and it's all about being outraged by life. I imagine. That's what the whole channel is just gonna be about. So, yeah, let's hear his story a bit more.
Society, the system, the world that we're living in, and how messed up it is. That's who I am right now, and I can't really express that to anyone. I can't really express that to the close circle of friends I have. I can't really express that to my family because they'll just give me the typical "that's life, that's the way it is" type of answer that that's not even helpful at all. So what is the fucking point? And then in conversations, people like have these little small talk conversations. Oh, how was your day? How was school today? How was work? What did you do this weekend? Oh, what happened to your friend that was in the soccer or football? I don't know. I'm just saying bullshit right now, and these are all things that I don't care about. I just don't care because I see through all the bullshit. I see through the fakeness of everything. It's insane. Yeah, at some point all the conversations just started feeling so shallow and there's nothing real anymore. There's nothing authentic because we're all just hiding behind a mask of fake positivity. And at some point it really does get exhausting to me to have to keep up that image around people just to appeal to them, just to keep the peace. And it's like all I want to do is seclude myself. And that is probably one of the worst parts about this awakening and this awareness, this mindset that we have. It's the isolation that comes with it and the detachment, feeling disconnected around most people because nobody around us in our daily lives really understand what we're actually going through. They're just going to assume that we're depressed, that we have issues, that we need help, that we need to seek therapy. It's all these things just to label us as like we're a problem, when in reality we're just seeing the world for what it truly is. Even social media feels fake as hell with interactions with other people. Some people, like I've had friends, okay, this is actually a serious, like what I'm about to tell you is actually fucking serious. I can't even believe what I'm about to say is real, but hear me out. So I had this friend before who, at some point they would they would post a lot of pictures, and then I don't really like a lot of pictures. Give the little heart or like the picture. I just kind of scroll through and go on with my day. And before I used to be someone who was very active on social media. I would like people's posts and expect the other person to like my post back, pay attention to who likes my posts and all that stuff. And all that is just now it's just nothing. It's all superficial bullshit. I don't care about that shit anymore. So at some point I stopped liking people's posts. People like from high school, old coworkers, whatever the fuck. And what's the weirdest part? The most common thing about most people is that if you stop liking people's posts, they will stop interacting with you completely. Like if you're not giving them the social media validation that they're looking from you, then they're not going to be their friend anymore. They're just going to ignore you. They're going to ghost you. They're going to think you're weird. Yeah, that actually happened to me. I'm not even joking. Like social media now has become a transaction. Now it's like, oh, I wish you happy birthday. You should wish me happy birthday back because that shows that we're friends. Or I'm liking your post, so you should like me back. Something like that. This is where the world has come to, where people's validations are based off who wishes you happy birthday, who likes your post, or whatever the fuck. It's insane. At some point, you're gonna realize that you're surrounded by people who chase certain chase validation. Some people just want to travel just for the sake of showing it off on social media. And at some point, I'm like, I can't be around these types of people anymore. It's not my mindset anymore. I'm not gonna be chasing, going to this restaurant that I found on social media that's highly reviewed or has 5 stars, 4 stars, whatever, and go chase those things. No, I don't care about all that stuff anymore. And you realize that we're surrounded by people who care about all that superficial stuff. Somebody just got a new car, somebody got a new apartment, somebody got a new house. People are just gonna be posting all of that stuff on social media and be like, hey, I made it. I'm now successful. I did all the right things that society has told me to do. And I'm gonna write a whole paragraph about, oh, success. Oh, no pain, no gain. Like what? Then when I'm done with all these social interactions, I realize how much I do really value alone time, and not only because I'm introverted or because I'm more reserved. It's not simply just that. It's this awareness that I have, or that we all have. And
do you agree with this take, PY? Like, genuinely curious. He does make some points. He's talking about, it sounds like Instagram, right? It sounds there's multiple good reasons why I deleted Instagram. Like, yeah, I stopped liking posts. I'm just like him. But I moved beyond it as well. I just saw the toxicity of Instagram, and I'm like, I want zero part of this. I wasn't even using it that much before I switched to the distraction-free Instagram and just use it as a messenger. I wasn't using it even before that time, but one little thing that broke the camel's back was just me feeling left out by people who just met each other, inviting each other out, but not me. And yeah, just seeing other people's lives that they post on, I just don't care about that. It's toxic to watch. But you don't have to look at it. You can just delete Instagram or not look at it and just replace it with a replacement app like distraction-free Instagram, which shows nothing. Let me show you what my Instagram looks like. This is what my Instagram looks like. Nothing. I just use it as a messenger because it's so damn toxic. And he's watching these people on social media. Yeah, it is that damn toxic. He's making a lot of good points. I agree with him, as I usually do. Well, I don't agree with everything that he says, but I agree with a lot. Yeah, it's social media in general. It's like Instagram is super toxic and should be avoided. You don't need that in your life. In fact, you shouldn't. I don't know. It causes so much fights among friends too. Like, it's just toxic in the sense of darkness. When I say Instagram is toxic, I mean it makes you more miserable. That's what I mean. I don't use a lot of social media. Yeah, when I say Instagram is toxic, it causes bad feelings within you, within yourself, and within friendships as well. Like, it, just like he said, of some people not liking your videos and posts anymore, and then you fall out or whatever, or you see other friends invited to things but you're not, and you were wondering why they weren't inviting you or anything like that, or your friends seeing you hanging out with friends and that wondering why they weren't invited. It's so toxic. Like, I just made a new Instagram where I only follow meme accounts now. Not a single account is someone I know sharing the best version of their life. Yeah. Yeah, it's stupid to be putting yourself into that world of Instagram and otherwise. Sure, if you're following memes and just having fun with fun posts, but not other people. But you just scroll through reels and other people pop up and showing their lives, and yeah, that's just bad vibes all the way through and through, from your core and beyond. So he's absolutely right on that. It sounds like he stopped Instagram, or at least I hope he did, and everyone should. I think it would be a better place to just use messengers and no Instagram or Facebook posting about your own life. And yeah.
We're at a point where we just can't stand all the superficial bullshit out there in the world, because that's what majority of the people in this world are chasing. Just everything is superficial, everything's shallow, everything's just for attention seeking. Just to prove to others that you're doing well in life, just to prove to others that you're seen as successful. And for the first.
By the way, his point here, like, he's so jaded because those are the kind of things that all that he sees. Like, because I cut myself out from all that, I am connecting with people like Eno from Korea, or Gooby and Doobie, Jonathan Choi. I'm seeing these authentic people who are not hiding behind a mask present their real selves, whether at a low point or a high point, and seeing these genuine, authentic people in longer form videos and not sharing something, a piece of their life that is not just for well, yeah, sure, you can say it's for views and clicks and likes, but it's not. The videos that they make are not for their friends, right? These YouTube videos that Eno and Jonathan Choi make are, I'm sure, for themselves as well as for the general public, but they're not showing to their friends, hey, I did this. And what I'm trying to say is, I'm watching these authentic YouTubers and consuming their content, and it's very wholesome, and I really enjoy it. A snippet of their life here, whatever they're thinking, whether it's they're in a bad spot or whether they're in a good spot, seeing those kind of raw, authentic, non-mask content, which this guy is clearly not consuming because he's not watching any of those kind of creators. From the sounds of it, I don't know. Maybe he is watching some authentic YouTubers. I have no idea. That's just a guess on my part. But like seeing these authentic YouTubers like Jonathan Choi, Gooby and Doobie, or from Korea, or or any of the others that I watch, I don't get the feeling that everyone's fake. I don't get the feeling that everyone's wearing a mask. Like Ray in Japan, for example. He's taking off his mask for YouTube. He's sharing and being vulnerable about all his honest thoughts and past stories. And that's the type of content I consume, so I don't have the same viewpoint as Life Outrage, who just sees only the fakeness and only the masks and only the superficiality. Yeah, he's got to plug himself into a more authentic bubble instead of. It sounds like he's unplugging from the fake bubble, or I hope he is, but I don't know if he is, but I hope he is. But yeah, that's the reason I'm not jaded like this guy, right? Because I consume different types of content from him. I'm not around or surrounded by people both online and offline who are just fake and like, yeah, wearing a mask. So let's see the rest of what he has to say.
First time in my life, I'm just like, I don't care about this. You know, maybe like 5 years ago, I was like, oh my god, I wish I had more friends. I wish I had a bigger friend group. I wish I was, you know, more popular, blah, 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 all that stuff. Now 5 years later, I don't give a fuck. It's useless. All these superficial things, I don't care about. I just started appreciating alone time. It feels more honest. It feels more real. It feels more true. It feels more authentic. Now, if I were to meet people who, you know, share the same mindset, share the same awareness, yeah, I would be able to tolerate it in a way. I think that.
I think you need to curate your friend list too, not just social media. We use the word friend too loosely, just acquaintance based on social circumstances. Yeah, that's a good point. That's more important. I would say that's even more important. And at a similar level to social media, just the people you interact with, the friends you keep. Like, I don't have fake ass friends who are disingenuous, and because all those friends I don't keep in touch with. I have very few friends, and those friends I meet up one-on-one, and when I meet up with them, or if I'm meeting them in a group with my girlfriend, yeah, at least the ones that I like, they're very authentic and genuine, and I have a good time with them. Most of the times I'm just alone or with my girlfriend, or occasionally meeting a friend one-on-one. I have like a couple guy friends that I meet, and none of them are wearing a mask. They're not trying to they're not worried about outperforming me in any area or coming off as a better person online, or they don't give a shit about those things. They're more like me in the sense that they don't care about anything fake. They're just their authentic selves and just chilling and having a good time with me. So OPM is real. Yeah. And people in my Discord server. Yeah, absolutely. You're real too, for sure. Interacting with, people in my Discord server like you is all that is part of my bubble. So you're real for sure, OPM. You're real for sure. Yeah, so it's just a matter of filtering, I guess. Filtering your friends and also the content you watch.
That will make me feel less alone, because I can be surrounded by so many people, and I'd feel more alone than if it was actually physically alone, if you know what I'm talking about. Because being surrounded by a bunch of people who only care about superficial shit is more lonely than actually being alone in your room, for example. Now, am I saying that I'm going to just cut ties with everybody that I know around me? Well, I don't know. I'm not ready to risk that yet, but, some days I'm just like, I do just want to disappear. I just want to escape. I don't want to, be surrounded by people and, be superficial and trying to act all positive just for the sake of, keeping the peace amongst others. It's either I'm alone or I'm surrounded by people where I can be my true self, be honest in whether that's positive or negative, that's all the better, because that if I'm able to talk about negative things without feeling any judgment, then that's a plus for me. And I know when it comes to this awareness, I know cutting ties with the people around you is usually something that happens along the line, but I'm not ready to do that yet. But it does lead to some isolation, some detachment from England right now. That's what I'm dealing with. I'm starting to feel detached from certain people, some of my family members. People can ask me if they want to do something on the weekend or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't anymore. And maybe it was something that I used to tolerate, used to enjoy, but now with this awareness, if I want to do something, I'm starting to feel detached from certain people, some of my family members. People can ask me if they want to do something on the weekend or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't anymore. And maybe it was something that I used to tolerate, used to enjoy, but now with this awareness, I don't know. It's there are times when I'll just fucking deal with it and just go along with it and feel completely uncomfortable during those interactions, or I'm just gonna be like, I'm not going, and because it's not worth my time. Because I'd rather just be alone and be my true self rather than pretend to be someone I'm not. Putting up a performance when I don't even have the energy for it. And yeah, I have a really low tolerance now when it comes to social interactions. I'm in a phase currently where it's like everybody who knew me before this awareness, you know, they're kind of dealing with a side of me that's kind of, these people can tell that there's something different about me. Like, I'm just clearly not the same, and it's obviously affecting, you know, some of the plans we make and stuff, and my willingness to go along with them or whatever. That includes my family, my close circle of friends. Like, moving forward now, I'm not going to be chasing after anything. I'm not going to be chasing, you know, superficial friendships just for the sake of, oh, because I feel lonely or I feel alone. No. I'm going to, you know, just anybody who's mentally aligned with me, who has this awareness, probably the only chance I'll ever like make a new friend, if that is the case. If somebody is aligned, you know, who has this awareness, this mindset that I have, that's the only chance I'll ever make an actually newer friend. And like I said, am I going to cut ties with everybody who knew me before the awareness? I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but I'm in a phase. I don't think I'm ready to do that just yet, but I'm in a phase where I am questioning all of this, all of the people that know me before the awareness that are still here. But yeah, small circles, I'm going to be fine with that, which is what I have now. And then you have my family. But I will say that, you know, solitude, being alone, that feels real. You know, it feels more real than being surrounded by people these days. And it's just how I'm feeling. It's kind of sad. It feels isolating. It does get lonely at times, but I'd rather actually just be alone than actually be around people that I can't really truly connect with on a deep level. Like I said earlier, you know, if we're not aligned, if we can't connect on a deep level, then I don't want it. And that's how it's going to be moving forward. If I, you know, ever meet new people, it's like I'm in this phase where I'm kind of letting go gently of the old me, because, you know, I'm going to be honest, the old me, he's probably just long gone at this point. The one that used to crave, you know, friendships on a superficial basis because he wanted to feel accepted and feel seen by most people. But in the end, I couldn't even get that anyway. I was never accepted. I was never understood or seen or anything. So this is a result of that, and where I'm just going my own way, carving my own path, and it's just how it is. But yeah, let me know if you guys relate to this video about, you know, isolation. Does it get lonely sometimes? Would you rather be around multiple people or just be by yourself? Let me know in the comments, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.
He is literally me. I'm sorry to hear that you have superficial people around you, Sasha. Yeah, and it sucks for him too. Life outrage, not having people that he can be genuinely authentic around. Yeah, that sucks. It's hard to find people that you can be genuinely authentic around and jive with you. And I completely understand where he's coming from. Yeah, I'm sure, and he's connected with Zero Rift online. People like Zero Rift really connect with him, and they can be authentic with each other. I don't know if he can find people like that in person, right around him, but at least he can connect with these people online. So, yeah, I guess he can make new friends online at least. But yeah, it sucks that he has to be fake around all the people around him. Anything else I want to watch? Let's see this one. Oh, but I found a solution to fix my life. What's that? I feel better. Good that you are feeling better. Okay, let's watch.
When I have a crush on a girl, I will do these things. Around 3 years ago, I was crushing super... When I have a crush on a girl, I will do these things. Around 3 years ago, I was crushing super hard on this influencer girl. She would make TikTok talks and Instagram reels, and I would eat them up like a Sunday roast. She's not super popular or like super off meta either. Well, I typically never do this on other people's posts, but for crushy wushies, I would leave comments on her posts. You would think it's me complimenting or cheerleading for her, but nah. It would be like this. One of her posts was titled, "I'm 22 now. That's crazy. Your bio still says 21 though." And on another post, she actually replied to me. She would make YouTube vlogs as well, and I said, "When will your next YouTube video be?" Do you see what she added there at the end? She called me boo. I actually felt bad because she thinks I'm a fellow girly pop, but she added there at the end? She called me boo.
Give me some ideas, boo. What I eat in a day, vlogging outdoors, clothes, shopping, vlog. Oh man, all on Instagram, eh? Romantic partners, baby sweet honey. Okay. Wait, Mochi is going to pee. I gotta get her pee before she pees on the pee pad. Wait, Mochi, I'm coming. I'm coming. Did you pee? Oh, did you pee? No. Let's go pee. Let's go potty. Alrighty, I am back. I'm back. My solution, drawing and learning English. Finally, I am doing what I want. Regardless, I have problem in drawing. It is fun to learn something new. Ooh. That is a great solution. Drawing. Both drawing and learning English is fantastic. You should post on YouTube too, even if it's just private videos for yourself. Okay, let's continue watching this.
I actually felt bad because she thinks I'm a fellow girly pop, but I was a man in disguise. So why is your profile picture a girl then? Because sometimes guys want to be Pookie too. It's a girl from the K-pop group Promise9, and let's just say my K-pop phase in 2022 was something you guys should not know about. Another way I showed my interest in a girl.
Are you going to stream for a while? Stepping out for a sec. I'll probably be streaming for a while because I got... Wait, did I get... Nope. I got nothing to do today. I don't have any obligations today. I don't have to meet anyone. I just have to take care of the pets. So that's it. I don't know if I'll be in front of my computer streaming, but I'll probably be doing that. Who am I kidding? Let's go and see ya for now. OPM. One Punch Man.
During high school was just straight up follow her on Instagram. Just kidding. Okay, just kidding, because it's easy as flub to find your classmate's Instagram. Well, there was this girl in my table group of 4 in my English class. She was omega popular. So since we were forced to talk and discuss the book with each other, I just randomly started following her one day on Instagram. I was like, okay, the success rate of her following me back is high, because we've had interactions now. She probably knows who this is. And guess what? She didn't follow me back. Well, she probably didn't see it since her profile is public, so she didn't have to approve it. Welp, we'll never know if she saw it or not and just went, ew, why is that derpy Agumon looking dude thinking that we're buddies now? So it was pretty awkward when we would go back to talking IRL. You're also making this awkward too. When I was in high school in my 3rd year, the same exact class in my How to Be Funny video, there was this...
This is a good idea. Thanks for your advice. Maybe I will. You should you should definitely have your own private YouTube channel, even if you don't want to make it public, just for your own uploading your own videos. And you can always make it public later if you want, or keep it private if you want. But I highly recommend you talk in English. If you are learning English, talk in English, making English videos of just whatever comes out of your mouth, and just try to string sentences together of your thoughts. Just like Ray in Japan, who was making this YouTube channel for the sake of getting better at speaking English. He's making massive progress just making English videos. So I recommend doing it in public, because you will find people who really connect with you and resonate with you. But if you don't want to make it public, that's up to you too, right? You don't have to go public like Ray in Japan. So yeah, but Ray in Japan is doing well. but you don't even have to think about performance. You can keep it private if you want. But you should make English videos if you are learning English, for sure, Sasha. All right, let's continue with the video.
This fourth-year girl who sat right here. She was pretty cute, but not like a crushy-wushy. But one day, when class hadn't started yet, I was just chilling and she walked down the aisle and said, "Hey Kevin, you were in my dream last night." And she was also super popular. And when you're super popular, you can say all sorts of outrageous banter and people are gonna be like, "Oh ho ho." And I was like, "Oh." Cause in my head, I was thinking, does she mean it that way? No way, I'm literally a Goomba. And that was that. If we're texting, which not many girls get to this point, I will let you know if I have to be right back, because I don't want to give off the impression that when we're chatting and I suddenly need to go AFK, I just mysteriously leave and now she thinks I went, I'm bored of this. So I'll let you know why I might be dry for a couple of minutes, like I gotta go take the chicken out of the freezer. And maybe I'll even dual wield the chicken and the texting. If you notice that I become an Animal Crossing villager towards you, then that's a good indicator that I like you. What does that mean? First, I'll give you gifts. This is most likely because growing up, I never got much physical affection or verbal affection, so I don't know how to do that to others. When my two Chick-fil-A coworker friends let me stay in their apartment for 2 weeks when they went off to a missionary, I showed my appreciation as the broke college student I was and gave them something of their greatest interest. I gave them an anime figurine. It was Shinobu and Goku. First, I was gonna get them a Funko Pop, but low-key, those things look stupid, so I got them an actual figurine. So for quartering me in their apartment for 2 weeks, I gave them the rightful reward of an anime figure. I know, that trade offer was so bad. I'm like a Minecraft villager. But gift giving is not the only Animal Crossing villager thing that I do, because what's something else that these derpy animals do? They talk about random derpy things that's going on with their lives. For example, if I don't really like you, then our conversation might be super basic like, "How you doing, dog?" But if I start crushing on you, I'll talk about deep things in my personal life. "Yo, so I've been getting into gardening, and the other day I was loosening up the soil to plant new seeds and I found a worm in the dirt. I was so happy and didn't know how it got in there. But now I know that I can keep burying food scraps in there." When I like a girl, I pretend that I don't like the girl. What a great defense mechanism. And on the other hand, when it's a girl that I don't really have a crush on, I'm like a giga chat with her. I can literally ask what her name is, where she grew up, because I don't care about failing the conversation. And I'm not saying that I only talk to ugly girls. There have been multiple girls that I talk to that are conventionally pretty, but it's if I decide to have a crush on you, then I turn into a shy guy. Let's take the gym for example. You guys know how cooked I am with talking with Belle, but there have been multiple times where I've interacted with different girls at the gym. The other day, I was getting up on the Stairmaster and it was just one spot open and it was sandwiched by 2 girls. I don't care. I get up the Stairmaster with no flubs given. And here's the kicker. When I was done, I went to get a cleaning wipe but forgot that I took one up with me when I started. So I casually look at the girl next to me and offer it to her. She goes, "Oh, thanks." And then she made small talk. Man, they need more fans above the Stairmaster. Yeah, well, if you go into the yoga room, you can turn on the fans and it also doesn't smell sweaty in there. "Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks." Yep. And you guys know that would never happen with me and Belle. Now this next thing, I don't really understand the reasoning behind this, because when I'm talking to a girl that I like, I will talk about a celebrity crush that I like, as a way of bringing up crushes into the conversation. So in the past, there may have been a girl I liked, and I would sometimes send her Instagram posts from like Momo from Twice and say, "Oh, she's so pretty." Now I'm not saying that I would choose Momo over the girl, because I don't really mess with celebrities like that. But now, the conversation has switched over to talking about crushes and what we like in someone. Now if the girl responds with a picture of some regular Joe Schmo, then yeah, I'm cooked. I do this with only celebrity people, because what I'm trying to say is that I'm not crushing on her over you. I'm trying to say that I like you by pointing out a similarity between Momo and you. Now, I would say for stalking, I feel like I definitely am not the most stalker, because recently I was scrolling on IG Reels and supposedly people stalk other people's Spotifys to try and sense what their crush was feeling like when they added certain songs to their playlists. I mean, can you really decipher that kind of stuff? If I had access to my crush's Spotify, then I'm just looking at decipher that kind of stuff.
Unfortunately for them, I'll be stalking their Spotify playlist for the rest of eternity, going on the desktop version, looking at each date a song was added and cross-referencing it with my own perceived timeline of events and analyzing the data and making assumptions that are probably incorrect because I have a lot of issues. My For You page is hopeless romantic stuff, okay. Oh man.
stuff. If I had access to my crush's Spotify, then I'm just looking at what type of music she listens to. And 9 times out of 10, our music taste doesn't match though. To prove my point, if my gym playlist consists of these songs, what does that say about me? I don't even know what that says about me, just that I like these songs during that time. But if I have Caramel Dancin' added during April, does that mean I was feeling goofy and derpy during that time? Now, there's a common thing guys do when they're talking with a girl, and I'm so glad I don't do this. It's when the guy makes his voice deeper to sound more macho and masculine. For me, I get stuck in this vocal tone like, hi, nice weather we're having, hi, how many more sets do you have? Because I get so nervous that I forget to sound like an actual human being. Another trait I have when I sets do you have? Because I get so nervous that I forget to sound like an actual human being. Another trait I have when I have a crush, I start becoming mysterious. So actually, in that same exact Spanish class, there was this girl. She was the quiet type, but super pretty. She was a crushy-wushy. She wasn't a popular girl either, so I respected her hustle. One day, we were table partners, and so we're practicing our NPC dialogue, and it came to the point of, what is your favorite smell? She said vanilla. And guess what I did after that? On my Finsta, which is a secondary Instagram for your close friends, I made a post, and unrelated to it, the caption was, her favorite smell.
Thanks for conversation, but I need to go to sleep. See you next time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good night, Sasha. I'll see you. I'll see you next time.
Is vanilla. And of course my friends were like, what are you talking about? So my friend and I in our senior year were crushing on this super secondary Instagram. What is your favorite smell? She said vanilla. And guess what I did after that? On my Finsta, which is a secondary Instagram for your close friends, I made a post, and unrelated to it, the caption was, her favorite smell is vanilla. And of course my friends were like, what are you talking about? So my friend and I in our senior year were crushing on this super whooper popular girl. We're in the same history class, and so we did a friendly competition. We both request to follow her and see if she follows us back. He requested to follow her. No response. And he had more followers than me, more aura than me, and he was taller than me. So if that's what he got, then I'm gonna get reported for harassment. Guess what? She requested to follow me back. This was huge for the 5-foot community. So after school, I met up with him in the band room, and he was super envious. And then, right after, we sat down and started looking at her pictures.
Let's read the comments. Jim Crush needs to watch this vid. Rose is just exposing himself. I respect it. Kev isn't a person. He's just intrusive thoughts with a Wi-Fi connection. The way Kevin pronounces girl as girl will never get old. From overthinker to stalker, then simp. Oh. You have... Let's go new Kevin video. So much brio for being a member for 3 months. Oh wow, member for 3 months. Yeah, let's see how much his membership is. Yep, same as me, $5 Canadian a month. Custom emoji, damn. How do I enable that? I gotta enable that. Yeah, Harin made custom emojis. Now I just gotta... Okay. Oh, you hungry, Mochi? Let's see, anything else I wanna watch? Is my world getting too small? Oh, too... Okay, let's have a look at this.
Hey guys, it's Ray. How's it going? Recently, I realized that I didn't go outside of my town. I mean, I didn't use station. I mean, I didn't ride train for 2 months, and I just stayed my just neighborhood, right? So, yeah. Actually, I prefer stay home, and there's not so many friends or things like that. But it's yeah, like I mean, I should go outside, right? It's too much. I just stay around here too much, and yeah. And yeah, this month, last year, I moved here, this apartment, and um, yeah, I'm staying here for a year. Yeah, it's 1 year. But yeah, I thought I don't meet many people, even I live in Tokyo. But yeah, it's obvious. I mean, I don't go out, so I should go out more. Yeah. So I decided to go to some English conversation club next week. Yeah, and yeah, I decided to go that kind of event more often. And also, I want to go some jazz lives or jam session. Yeah, yeah. I stay home and being alone too much, I guess.
Mochi is begging. Mochi, you want mama? You want mama? I better go feed her. Do I stop the stream or do I feed her and then come back and keep the stream going? Feeding Mochi. Let me write that down. Can you see that? BRB. I'm coming, Mochi. Okay, I'll be back. I am gonna break out my emergency Doritos. I don't think she has to pee. No. Okay. It is 5:51 p.m. I am getting hungry. Empty seat stream. He's learned from Hassan Piker. Japanese man impression time. Hassan Piker? Who is he? Let me check. Who is Hassan Piker? Hassan Abi? Is this him? Live 6 years ago. Okay, I guess he streams on. Okay. Interesting. All about politics. Don't look up. Don't look up Hassan Piker. You will regret it. Japanese man impression time. He's the worst, most toxic streamer. Oh. Okay. He streams on Twitch. Oh, is this not Hassan Piker? What's this?
The other side is making a very legitimate argument about the right to due process if you get processed and shipped out of the country and put in a prison in El Salvador. Was it Benjamin Franklin's quote about innocent and that it's better to allow 10 guilty people to go free than one innocent person arrested? You know, I'm on that side of things.
Yeah.
That's my, I mean, I think due process exists for a reason, and the reason is
I told you, this is how it begins. There's only so much insanity that even the ape man and his supporters are going to take. This is how the process begins. The process of discontent begins amongst the...
Yeah, I'm not interested. Okay, let's stop watching him. Let's continue watching. Or, before I continue watching, right? Although, I've gotten multiple comments that it sounds gross to eat on the mic. As in chewing sounds, so... I guess it's gonna be... This is the highlight of my day. Doritos and Canada Dry ginger ale, my favorite. This is zero sugar. This is the first time I've seen zero sugar Canada Dry, so I had to try it out. Tigga, you came! Wanna come on camera? No? Okay, never mind. Hey, don't go behind. Yo, you coming up? Come here. He's on my desk. You wanna come up? Okay, come here. You can come up. Haha, missing the Pepsi. Yeah, Canada Dry is the best ginger ale. Oh, hi. Classic combo. Never had the zero sugar version before though. Yeah, this is the first time I've had zero sugar. Look who's here! Tigger! Oh, did you come for this? He likes licking the chip powder. Once my fingers get dirty, I need tissue. Okay, let me bring tissue. Looks like I'm gonna jack off, but I'm just gonna wipe my fingers on the Doritos. Okay. Let's do this, and I'm gonna watch... Oh, first let's try the drink. Let's try the zero sugar. Pretty close, pretty much the same. Do you know what they use for the sweetener? I'm always curious when it's zero sugar. I know some people hate stevia, but that's the only alternative I really like. Sodium, aspartame, acetosulfame, potassium. It's aspartame. Yeah. Phenylalanine. Canada Dry for the Canada guy. Canada Dry for the Canada guy. You're absolutely right. Oh, why am I closing it? Okay. Let us watch. Diga, why are you there? We're in Japan.
Yeah, it's kind of bad routine. I mean, I just stay home and then kind of lonely. And when I drink, I became like a happy person and talkative person. Maybe I want to talk to someone in person, but in reality, I just stay home. So that's why when I drink, that kind of emotion, that kind of...
You guys are funny. I had Dr. Pepper zero sugar today. Whoa. I don't like Dr. Pepper, but how was Dr. Pepper zero sugar, Devin? Now tell us a really dry Canadian joke. I'm from Kentucky, USA. You like our fried chicken? I actually like Korean fried chicken better than Kentucky fried chicken. Still KFC. I love popcorn chicken.
wish became, and then yeah, I drank more and I talked to someone, and eventually I drank too much and I drink until in the morning. It's freaking bad routine, right? Yeah, I should stop that kind of routine. So yeah, I decided to go out more and interact.
I really enjoy Dr. Pepper. Wow. You guys are connecting. Devin and Olav are. Given its unique flavor, I understand why some people don't like it, though. Yeah, almost as good as the original. It's the spot. Canada Dry Zero Sugar. Oh, that's good. Muffin, you gonna go behind? He always goes behind my monitor. Okay, let's continue watching.
With people in daily life. I think that kind of action fix that kind of problem, I guess. Yeah. But a few days ago went I went to bar, and it was the first time I went there. And yeah, the bar is awesome. It's very cozy and like lights low, and it's very moody. And yeah, and I decided, I was like, I just drink like 3 drinks, and then I should.
Look who's here. Muffin. Come in camera. Wanna taste? Oh. He's not liking my finger. It was good. I've always been a fan of Dr. Pepper for a long time. I didn't taste a difference compared to the original. Yeah, Dr. Pepper is the best. We have some Dr. Pepper fans here. Oh, 3 Dr. Pepper fans here. Wow. Art Sloan, Coca, and Super Saiyan Scandinavian.
We'd go home. And then, yeah. At the bar, I just drink 3 drinks, and then I went to home. But I mean, I was gonna home, but eventually I went to other bar, and yeah. But I just drink another 3 drinks, and then that's it. I went to home. So not too much, yeah. So yeah. Actually, this video there's no topic. I mean, I was like I wanna take the video, but I don't have any topics, so I just press the start button. But there's no topic coming out. So but yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next video. Bye.
There was a topic. That's a great title for a topic. Opening up your world can be challenging, but there are certainly some rewards that come with it, so don't give up. Maybe your world isn't small, maybe you're just outgrowing it. Looking forward to the next chapter of your life. This is what remote work did to me. Lol, one day I found myself completely alone. I'm almost okay with it. I can relate to your experience. I live in Germany. I moved to a big city alone. I'm also a huge introvert, so I never thought I'd experience loneliness so badly, to the point where I wanted to drink alone. I think it's very good of you that you want to go out more. The English club sounds very nice. Thank you. I'm glad you can relate to my experience. Being an introvert can be tough, but this is our life, and we're doing our best to live it fully. A muffin? I didn't think living in Tokyo would make me feel this lonely, but I totally get what you mean. Remote work can really isolate you. Thank you for your kind words. That really encouraged me. I think you're right. Just outgrowing the old version of my world. I won't give up, and I'm excited for what's next. Let's reply to him. What do I want to tell Ray in Japan? Yeah, it's easy for our world to get smaller and smaller. Yeah, it's easy for our world to get smaller and smaller. But that's okay sometimes, and other times it's good to a muffin push ourselves to be more social. Let's strike a balance and reach out to people sometimes. Okay. Okay. Anything. Okay. This is what art actually means. Okay, let's watch this one next.
What I'm about to share with you will completely change how you see every What I'm about to share with you will completely change how you see every painting, song, film, any work of art that you ever encounter. I spent the last few years obsessively taking notes on creativity, from books, interviews, research studies, you name it. And what I discovered will explain why a simple painting can move you to tears, why a song can heal something broken inside of you, and why deep down you feel a burning need to create. But first, let me ask you something. What does art mean? Not the textbook definition, not what critics say, not what galleries, the Oscars, or the Grammys decide is worthy. Look, after years of studying creativity, I realized that the common belief of what art means is entirely wrong, and the answer will open your mind. Last year, I went to one of the largest art shows in the world called Art Basel. There were thousands of pieces screaming for everybody's attention. And as I walked through the maze of galleries, I saw a woman standing perfectly still in front of a large abstract painting. She wasn't glancing, she wasn't browsing, she was frozen. And so I followed her gaze to see what she was looking at, and I saw the artwork. And I stared at it for a few minutes, and deep down, I felt absolutely nothing. It was just another piece that I didn't get. But something about her stillness made me curious, so I asked her, "What do you see in this painting?" And she turned to me and with bright eyes, she said, "I walked through every piece in this show today, and this one is my favorite one." I looked back at the painting and I still didn't understand what I was seeing. Then she tells me a story that changed everything. She explained that the artist didn't just paint this canvas. She wrapped it around a living tree. And for years, as the tree grew, the canvas stretched, and the paint cracked, and the surface rippled and changed. Every mark on that canvas was made by time itself. Every crack was the tree breathing. Every ripple was the tree expanding. I looked back at the painting, and suddenly, I didn't see paint anymore. I saw years passing. I saw seasons changing. I saw something alive becoming more alive. I no longer saw painting. I saw life. I felt time, and that was beautiful. And that moment rewired my brain. I realized something simple, but life-changing. Art isn't just decoration or entertainment or even beauty. It's something far deeper. Art is a translation device. Think about this with me for a second. You have an entire universe inside of your head. Galaxies of thought spinning in silence, oceans of feeling that no one else can see, memories that live in colors that don't even have names, and dreams that speak languages only you can understand. And all of this is bundled into experiences that are completely invisible to everyone else because they only exist in you. So, how do you get your experiences out? How do you make the invisible visible? Well, the book Reality Hunter says that the purpose of art is to impart the sensation of things as they are perceived and not as they are known. As in, you can't hand someone your loneliness. You can't show them your childhood wonder. You can't give them your hope. But you can paint it. You can sing it. You can write it. You can dance it into existence. Art is how we take the untranslatable and translate it, the unspeakable and speak it, the unseeable and see it. Van Gogh couldn't hand you his loneliness, so he painted it in swirls of starlight and sorrow. Beethoven, he couldn't give you his rage against the dying of his hearing, so he composed it into symphonies that still make us weep. Charlie Chaplin couldn't explain poverty and loneliness, so he made the whole world laugh until it cried. And when I struggled to comprehend the otherworldly experience of loving my wife, I write poetry until I sculpt the words into a snapshot of our relationship. In the book Creativity, there's actually a paragraph that encapsulates this well. It talks about books, but it relates to all forms of art. It says, what makes words so powerful is that they enrich life by expanding the range of individual experience. Without stories and books, we would be limited to knowing only what has happened to us or to those whom we have met. With books, we can join Herodotus during his travels to Egypt, or be with Lewis and Clark on their epic journey to the Pacific, or imagine what it might be like to travel beyond our galaxy a few hundred years hence. But more important, the written word allows us to understand better what is happening within ourselves. Words like that reminds me that every piece of art is someone saying, here, let me show you what it's like to be me. Man, like when you really look, something inside of you recognizes itself when you look at art. A chord strikes, a door opens, a light turns on. You realize that you are not alone in your beautiful, broken, blazing humanity. Art proves that we're not isolated islands. We're connected by invisible threads of a shared humanity. But that's just the beginning, because art doesn't just translate individual experience. It does something even more profound, something that will change how you see your own creative work forever. Art doesn't just translate your story, it translates our story. The story of what it means to be human, right here, right now, in this moment in history. Every generation creates art that captures what it feels like to be alive in that era. The anxieties, the hopes, the questions, the struggles. Medieval art obsessed with the divine because people were trying to understand their place in God's universe. Renaissance art celebrated human potential because people were discovering what humans could achieve. Modern art broke all rules because people lived through world wars and nothing made sense anymore. And our art today is trying to figure out what it means to be human in a digital age where everything is connected, but everyone feels disconnected. Art is humanity's real-time diary. And here's the crazy part. When you create something, you're not just expressing yourself. You're contributing to that diary. You're helping translate what it means to be human right now in this weird, wonderful, chaotic moment in history. This actually reminds me of a passage in Create or Die about this, and here's what it said. The fairy tales, plays, songs, paintings, and other forms of art from the past to give us a glimpse into who we once were. The artifacts we investigate are all preserved art from the past. That means the art of today will become the artifacts of tomorrow. It's our footprint in the sand of human history that preserves the stories of our time. When you create something new, you're contributing to our story. Protect your creations to secure your place in the shared human consciousness. I just love that. Oh yeah, by the way, if you would like access to all my notes on creativity from the last 4 years, all my insights, just tap the link in the description and tell me where I should send them. All right, now answer this. Have you ever visited a museum and saw a piece of art and thought, I barely understand any of this art? Like, I look at it and I feel nothing. Well, here's what I wish someone had told me years ago. You don't have to understand art to let it work on you. In The Creative Act, Rick Rubin said, much of art's greatness is felt on a gut level. Art isn't a puzzle to solve. Art isn't a test you pass or fail. Art isn't a code you crack. It's an experience to have. You know that song that reaches inside your chest and rearranges something? You don't analyze it. You feel it. And that photograph that stops you cold and makes you see the world differently.
Mochi is begging. She's been begging and begging and begging. Now she's scratching herself. Mochi? Mochi? I thought I fed her. Maybe she wants more. Or she wants to go out to poop. But she pooped already. Let me finish this, Mochi. Let me finish this. Almost done. Almost done. Do I feed you? Do I let you out? Maybe I feed you. Maybe she's still hungry. I think she's still hungry. Ginger ale, 0 sugar, Canada Dry. Made from real ginger. How much ginger? Probably not a lot, because I don't taste any ginger. It's just a sugary drink. Okay. I better feed her. I'll be back. Is it feed or is it go out? I don't know. How do I prop this up? Oh, I can't prop this up. Ugh. Okay, let's feed you. Let's feed you. You want mama? You want more mama? Okay. Let's continue watching this guy. He's almost done.
You don't decode it, you just receive it. Anatole France once said, "In art, as in love, instinct is enough." Art bypasses your thinking mind and speaks directly to your feeling mind. It doesn't ask for your analysis, it asks for your presence. The people who get art aren't smarter or more sophisticated. They're just more willing to feel. But here's the thing that will change everything for you as a creator.
Okay, she's begging for treats. Let's give her treats. Mochi, you finished? Leftover kibbles. I think she wants a bit more. But I think she wants a bit more, but probably not that much more, if any.
Art doesn't just mean something, art makes meaning. I go deeper on how artists make meaning in another video that's titled, "This is Why You Make Art." It's one of my biggest videos on this channel, so if you haven't seen it, I recommend that you check it out. Because when you create, you're not just expressing what already exists inside of you, you're discovering what exists inside of you. How many times have you started writing or drawing or singing without knowing where it would go?
Is she going pee? Let me check. You done, Mochi? Anite? You going potty? Going pee? Oh, you peed. Okay. That's it. Yeah. Should have known she was gonna pee. Should have known. Okay.
And surprise yourself with what came out. The book, Still Like an Artist, says that it's in the act of making things and doing our work that we figure out who we are. That's because in the act of creating, it's an act of becoming. You know who you are by making something that didn't exist before. Every time you create, you're answering the question, what does it mean to be me right now in this moment? And every time someone experiences your art, they're asking, what does it mean to be human? This is why art matters. This is why we need it. This is why every culture in history has painted on walls and sung around fires and told stories under stars. Not because it's pretty, not because it's impressive, but because it's how we figure out what it means to be alive. Art is meaning making in real time. So when someone asks you what art means, tell them this. Art means you're not alone. Art means your feelings matter. Art means the invisible parts of you can become visible. Art means that you have something worth saying. Art means someone else will understand. Art means being human is worth exploring. And if you create, whether it's a painting, a song, a dance, a poem, a photograph, anything, you're participating in the most fundamental human activity, making meaning from chaos, connection from isolation, beauty from pain. You're saying, I was here, I felt this mattered. That's what makes art meaningful. So create something, not because the world needs more art, even though it does, but because you need to discover what it means to be you. Your inner world deserves to be translated. Your experience deserves to be shared. Your meaning deserves to be made. The world is waiting to understand exactly what it feels like to be you. So go and show them.
Wasn't one of his best, but Mochi, you okay now? You okay now? No longer hungry? You still begging? I think she's still begging. Yep, she's still begging. Shit. Much. Begging? You still hungry? You still want more chicken mama? Okay. Better go feed her again. Last time. Chicken mama? Okay. That better be the last time. That better be the last time. Nope. Looks like this fell over. Oof. Air temperature. Let's watch South Korea's over, a Korean perspective.
So yeah, I just came back to Ulsan, my parents' house, and spent one day here. Today's second day, Sunday, and tomorrow Monday I will go back to Busan. Maybe I'm gonna do pull-ups and some dips. Home gym. So a few years ago I was living here with parents, so in the COVID I did work out here. Why is it really hot? Wow. Very strong. Oh, we need more oil. It's kind of crazy. I feel very hot. So hot today. And I just want to grab some coffee. I want to walk around a little bit here. So I gave this car for my sister because I don't need a car. Maybe if I marry, if I make my child, then I can buy my car, but till now I don't need it. And so it's not expensive car, just cheap, very cheap and used car. As you can see, I'm not driving like a Ferrari.
I just started working out again a few days ago. I'm so damn weak now that I'm nearly 35. It's sad. Hey, you can always improve from here, so don't worry about it. Why is Mochi barking? Yeah, you're in the process of getting stronger, and that's all that matters. Don't say that you're weak, say that you're in the process of getting stronger.
And BMW, you know, but it's okay. So yeah, I waited to go to the cafeteria just to grab the one cup of latte ice, maybe. 안녕하세요. Yummy. So way to go. I think Korean coffee is very delicious.
I've got to be careful with my joints now, which wasn't a concern of mine in the past when I work out. Yeah, gotta be careful with your joints. I have a wrist problem for over a year now, since March of last year. So, silence this. Yeah, gotta be careful while you're working out from 30s and beyond. At least for me, and I guess for you as well, but it's all good.
Latin America, even US, Canada, Canadian and Australian coffee is good too, and US too, but Korean coffee is good. So yeah, let's build nature. I feel very comfortable when I'm with nature, as I told you in my first video. I'm not sure how many people are here today. people know about South Korea, we are our suicide rate is first, right? And also depression rate is very high. And also birth rate is very low. 0.72 is our birth rate in South Korea. And it's kind of very complicated thing. But you know, in our culture, like in Korean society, the problem is, I think, why people die, why people suicide, and why people get a depression, and why people don't want to marry and don't want to get a child. I think the saddish perfectionism is kind of very strong in South Korea, and also lookism in South Korea, and also lookism is very high value, and also comparison with other people, and people chase that being better than others because people just focus on sadist perfectionism. They chase being better than others, and also people think if you are not in 10% of like a fall short, it can be a loser. But 90% of people can be a loser in our society things. Yeah, maybe many people don't agree that too, but yeah, let's think about it. When I was in middle school and high school, after exam, our teachers always post our scores between 40 students. Post, Latin post, 게시판 in English. But that means like we student we can check our score, and also not some, most teachers are really kind to 10% of students. Ah, yeah, your score was very nice, blah blah. Even parents as well. If his or her child get a good score, wow, you are a good daughter, you are a good son, like that. So other 90% people thought like, oh, damn, I'm loser, like that. It's kind of Korean, what's Korean culture? In my age as well, and Korean baby boomers age was more stronger than now, but and that age in Korean boomers, it was really hard to get into university because people didn't have enough money at the time. But nowadays, I think more than 50%, it can be 60 or 70%, maybe more than, we have degree, maybe 80%. Between my friends, 100% we have degree of university. And all the young generation and even parents hope that they can get a great job in 10% or 5% high job like a Samsung and Hyundai. But it is impossible, right? Somebody can have to work in small and medium company, but because of sadist perfectionism, people chase the good money and good income and good company in our society. But in wide perspective, it's impossible, right? 90% or 80% people have to work in small and medium company, and just they have to live normal life. But maybe. And also when I was 20 years old, I did my first international voluntary in Timor-Leste, East Timor. That country was colony of Portugal, maybe more than 300 years, 500 years. And after that, yeah, it's kind of near to the Indonesia, and there are many big teams by Indonesian government. I remember that. We can check about Wikipedia or ask the ChatGPT. and I did volunteer, educational volunteer there 2 weeks. There was no electricity at night, and no water, and no refrigerator, of course. We just had to use candle at the night. And finally, in that country, I felt like very appreciated what I have in my country, South Korea. Oh, here is camera. Sorry, I was. So my mindset is Korean things. So in our society, status perfectionism is very strong. So people thinking about the normal life is 10% of life is normal life. So if you are not living like a 10% high level of life, that is kind of non-normal life. So standard of normal life is very high. I travel to many countries, maybe about 20 countries, and compared to other countries, Korean normal life standard highest, so strong. So this kind of comparison, yeah, comparison culture things, and small peninsula, and so many populations, so many people are living here, and also centralized in Seoul and into the Seoul and other small cities or far from the Seoul, like Busan or Ulsan, Gwangju, Mokpo. They're losing young people because they go to the Seoul to get a good job. But as you can see, it's hard to get a good job, great job, you know. But yeah, there are still jobs in small and medium companies, of course. But there are some problems as well. This kind of income and stability things. I can talk about politics as well, but not right now in this video. So because of that, status perfectionism, I was kind of really sad and frustrated, as you can see that in my first video. But now my mindset has changed, of course. So we're gonna talk about aging population as well. In Korea, right now, there are many old people because rate of birth is very low. People don't marry as well. It's a natural thing, right? And also development of medical technology. We can live for a long time. But right now, the younger generation, if we gonna marry and get a child, they will force this kind of very hard situation as well, like this kind of vicious cycle. But I believe we can overcome that. Like, for example, overcome that, like vicious cycle. But I believe we can overcome that. Like, for example, about pensions, it's kind of big problem in South Korea, and high taxes. Yeah, our tax will be increased, and welfare system as well, and also economic things. We already achieved and increased a lot of things in short term. South Korea, just 50 years, we changed many things economically. So from now, it's kind of a little bit hard to increase more. That means younger generation have to get a more debt from the government and high taxes and pensions as well. They pay the pension for old generation, and about 500,000 people are unemployment. They gave up to get a job, more than 6 months they are in situation circumstance without any trying to get a job. It's kind of very sad, but it's kind of reality. And because of status perfectionism and comparison thing, and normal life standard is very high in South Korea, so many people give up. It's kind of sad thing. It's kind of very hard situation in South Korea, and many people talk about Korea is over. No, man, Korea is not over. We are in very hard and in dark side right now, in economic way and even political things as well. Many conflict between men and women, and also ages and regions as well. But I believe we can overcome that because we all always overcame that. Our history is more than 5,000 and many attacks from the many countries. Between 90 times and 500 times or 700 times from the other country attack South Korea. From the Japan, from the China, and other countries too. Now we can see that about situation like Hong Kong and Taiwan, and in political way about democracy. This crisis of democracy, right? In Korea, also kind of huge and big crisis right now. Just a few days ago, we had a election. But in this video, I don't want to talk about politics in South Korea political things. So yeah, I was talking about like serious perfectionism, and I had that also because I born here, I raised here in Korea. I accustomed to do think like that way. But happily it was possible to travel to many countries and talk with so many foreigners and also wise people. I'm not talking about Korean people are not wise. I learned so many things, and now 36 years old, I can feel that when I feel happy, when I want what I want to do in this age, like restart, redo, thinking about my real value, and my philosophy. So I think when I was traveling other country, like for example, 1 month in Brazil and 1 month in Spain, 1 month in Mexico, 4 months in Canada, 1 week Portugal, 1 week Turkey, several months in Italy, Germany, and Netherlands. I felt very happy when I was in Brazil and Spain. To be honestly, Australia and Brazil was good, and Spain also. So maybe I'm gonna prepare some project. This YouTube channel can be on my project too, and other side of the project I'm gonna prepare that, and I want to make more side project income. I need a little bit more stability, and I have worked as a digital nomad for 8 years, as as I told you in first video, managing my own business like translation and voice record field 45 languages. But AI, artificial intelligence, came to industry, so how the situation right now. So it's time to turning point to prepare other ones. So if I can prepare that, maybe I'm gonna try to live in other country or travel more. Like it can be like 3 months in Korea, 2 months in other country. Or if I really love there, or if I meet my love, why not to live that country? Or if I meet someone, maybe we can live in South Korea as well. That's kind of my dream, like make my family and get a child. And also, I'm kind of very family man. I feel very happy when I'm with my family. When I see my mom and dad content and happy as well, my sister as well. But you know, I need also my family too. And I don't want to chase like Korean standard, or I don't want to live for others' eyes, just for myself. But to get that, to protect myself and my family, I'm gonna start to do new things. So this is my situation. Even Korea or all the world economy situation hard, there are always opportunities that you know. So I think this channel can be an opportunity for me. And ah, I got a new membership members. So right now, 4 membership members are in my channel. Thank you so much. And yeah, if you want to support me, please join my membership. It's kind of very happy and very supportive. I was very surprised and oh my gosh, world is beautiful and world is connected. It's crazy. So yeah, because of this channel, I feel very happy to be honest with you. So yeah, Korea is not over. Please give me comment if you watch this video, and maybe you can share about status perfectionism or your country's cultural things like about success or happiness or your standard or normal life, my standard normal life, being happy with me and my family. That's that's my normal life. See you.
Hmm. Oh, hey, Lauren. Hi. Was just interesting. Wow, 150 comments. I work in IT for the Dutch government. I earn in top 10% of my country. But to be honest, my work is very stressful and my life was easier when I was a broke student. I had less stress and more free time. Money is not everything. You need very little to be happy. Having good friends and a loving family is worth more. I can resonate with what you said, as I'm a Korean American. I had to grow up not having to show any weakness and always having to be perfect. Let me show my screen. Growing up in a Korean community in the US, it was especially difficult for me because I'm also autistic and have ADHD, so many of my Korean peers bullied me for not fitting in, which made me feel like an outcast. I have depression and a lot of times I feel like I don't belong in this world. Sometimes the pain gets so heavy I wonder if I should even continue living, but I still continue to try and show up. I also agree that Korea is not over. We as Koreans have strong perspective to overcome many obstacles and hard times. Just hearing about Korea's strength gives me hope, and I try to live with that same resilience, learning to let go of other people's expectations and focus on what matters most to me, taking small steps as I keep going. Sweden is not a very nice country to live in. The environment is amazing, but the hypocrisy is so complicated and the gap between rich and poor is only getting bigger and bigger. I love your videos, man. Thanks for sharing some Korean culture. I really need it now. Thank you. Damn. Adopted from South Korea when I was 3. Oh, so she lives in Sweden since she was 3 years old. Wow, and Sweden is not very nice. Interesting. Wow, that's a lot of comments. Okay. Yeah. You always ask for comments, eh? Interesting. I wonder if that's partly what makes this video even more viral each time. Interesting. Rebirth of a river from the damming well of Indigo. Let's try this.
Hello. Today I'd like to answer a question from one of the viewers. Pedro asks, Gooby, I'm 18 and hate seeing all of these guys on Instagram already buying Lambos and flexing everything they have. What goals should I set for my own life to avoid comparison? Oh, thanks for asking, Pedro. That's a good question. I've fallen into that trap in my life where I wanted to have a Lambo too at some point. Oh, well, before I go into trying to answer the question, I should say that I will just try my best to answer the question as a human being. I don't have, my answer I don't think is any better or worse, any more correct or incorrect than another person's opinion. But you asked me, and so I'm going to do the best I can to answer it from my own point of view as Gooby, as one human among 8.2 billion. So, now at some point I did want to be like those people that have the Lambo and flex it. So I'm going to talk about that.
PY greater than Gooby Dooby in my honest opinion, but they are both great guys. You're back, OPM. It's Gooby, great channel. Yeah, Lauren, you watch them too, eh? Yeah.
And my thoughts on it, and try my best to answer your question. So, yeah, I mean, I see YouTube. I never really use Instagram, but like YouTube, I see people like driving fancy cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches, classic cars, Jaguar E-types. Just cool looking cars. I mean, they look pretty. What makes them look pretty? I don't know. They look cool. They make loud sounds. They go really fast. They can go around a racetrack really fast. I fell into that. When I first became a doctor, all of a sudden I was making a ton of money, like a ton, like 10 times as much as I was the year before, and I was surviving on the income I had as a resident. I mean, it wasn't much money. It wasn't like saving a whole bunch of money. I wasn't, but I was happy. I was living. Now all of a sudden I have 10 times the amount of money that I had before, and yeah, I did see people. Here. Oh, wait, good girl. I see people driving these fancy cars. At that time, I lived in Carmel, which is near Pebble Beach. And Pebble Beach Golf Course is where a lot of rich people play golf. And they have this yearly car thing called Concours d'Elegance. You got to say it like a snooty person, d'Elegance. But it's the Concours of Elegance is in English what it would be. Where all these rich people with their cars, with their expensive cars show up. And they essentially jerk each other off. It's a big circle jerk.
They jerk each other off, a circle jerk. I wonder what that is. Let me look it up. Concours d'Elegance. Okay, it's searching in French. Concours d'élégance. I guess they're just showing off their vehicles. Means competition of elegance. Refers to an event where prestigious vehicles are displayed and judged. It dates back to 17th century France, where aristocrats paraded horse-drawn carriages in the parks of Paris during summer weekends and holidays. Interesting.
Stoking each other's egos. It's a huge ego fest. And I went to that, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Although something just struck me, just like, something's not quite right about this. The people here, they don't seem quite right. This whole thing doesn't seem quite right. I think that was a couple years into me first being a practicing doctor. So I finished residency, and I was practicing. And I was making money. And I just started making money, so I didn't have enough saved up to have a Lambo or Ferrari. Even when I did have enough money saved up, I could never bring myself to do that because, well, I don't have a house. Cost of living of everything is like so expensive. Rent is ridiculous. Food is getting ridiculous too. So like I never got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna splurge on a Lambo or a Porsche or whatever. I did get a Miata because there is because I was into cars and I wanted to get a Ferrari, but I just never pulled the trigger on that. And I was like, oh well, Miata is much cheaper. And Miata is like for people. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows what Miata is. But maybe someone doesn't, so I'll explain. It's a little two-seater convertible Japanese car that it doesn't have a big engine. It's really
Eating wild berries off plants, what a savage. I know, right? I think he called them, I forget what he called them. Gooseberries, was it? Something. And he mentioned it in previous videos.
tiny. As opposed to most cars these days that get bigger and bigger. It's a really tiny car, and it handles really well. And it feels like you're riding in a roller coaster, even though you're going only like 50 miles an hour. So it's a lot of fun. You're not breaking the speed limit or risking your life or other people's lives. I had that. The acronym for Miata, M-I-A-T-A, is Miata is always the answer. And that's the acronym for people who like driving cars. They say Miata is always the answer because it's affordable, it's easy to maintain, it's fun, and you can have a big smile and not break the speed limit or die from crashing at high speeds. Yeah, so I did that. I really enjoyed driving the Miata, but I don't have it anymore. So you might ask, why don't you have it anymore if you enjoy it so much? Well, I realized that happiness doesn't really come from things. In fact, having more things brings more unhappiness. Well, in my opinion. Well, why is that? Well, I think that there's this illusion that things can bring you happiness. And I think they can maybe, excuse me, I think they can maybe bring you a short burst of dopamine. Like when I would drive with the top down in this Miata and it was sunny weather outside. And that was fun. There was a smile on my face. But that smile quickly fades. Then you're driving on the highway. These semi-trucks, just one wheel on an 18-wheeler is taller than you are in this car. And you realize, oh man, I could get killed really easily if I get crushed in an accident. If I could crash with any vehicle besides another Miata, I'm just gonna get totally demolished. And then the noise is really loud in the cabin of this car. It's super light. They don't insulate this car because that adds to the weight. And it's a soft top. So even with the top up, it's incredibly loud from the wind. And like if you drive by an 18-wheeler on the highway, the tire noise and engine noise from the 18-wheeler is immense. And I just felt like I was going to go deaf gradually in this car. So I got rid of it. Do I still think about it? Yeah, I do. I really enjoyed driving, at times enjoyed driving it. And other times I didn't. But that really showed me that things don't really bring happiness. There's an illusion that things bring happiness. There's also an illusion that happiness can come externally from other people's approval or opinion of you. That's a big illusion too. Honestly, people don't really care about other people. They just care about themselves. If you think that someone else is spending more than 2 minutes thinking about you, well, you're wrong. Unless you're like the president or something. But for most everyone else, like if you think someone's thinking about you for more than 2 minutes, you're probably wrong because they're just thinking about themselves. There's this trap that you can fall into if you're trying to find happiness in things, possessions, or other people. It can be a never-ending cycle. These berries are perfectly ripe right now, so I'm just going to enjoy this while I continue to talk. These salmon berries are delicious. And this is wild. This is like as organic wild as you can get.
Yeah, that's what he said. Salmon berries. They're not gooseberries, they're salmon berries. That's pretty cool.
Now, some people may say, why don't you offer Doopy some? Well, she doesn't like fruit. That's too sour for her. She's here, by the way. We're enjoying this nice walk in the forest because it's hot outside, but in the forest it's cool because that's what trees do. They take the energy from the sun to grow their own bodies, and it makes it cooler in the shade here. Yeah, so you can end up in this never-ending cycle of like trying to find approval from other people or trying to find happiness in things, but you'll never be satisfied.
So true. If you're driving a Lambo, when peeps are looking at you, they aren't envying you, they're imagining themselves in the Lambo. So paying to impress peeps you don't know or care about. Yeah, I never wanted, like, it takes a certain type of person to drive something like a Lambo, because that's an attention magnet, right? Only people who like that attention should get it. I don't even want that attention. So, yeah, even if I did have the money for a Lambo and I had spare cash, and I could have afford it without worrying about, you know, food and shelter and all that, then even then, I would probably just get some standard car, like a Honda Civic or a Mazda 3 or one of those just small standard typical hatchbacks, because I like the hatchbacks better than sedans, but otherwise because it carries more stuff in the back. But yeah, I would not get an attention grabbing magnet of a car. Do not want that attention. That's just bad attention to get. I don't know why people would want that, but then again, I'm not those people. So
Pedro, when you see these people do that, you gotta really think, like, what are they doing? They're trying to seek approval from other people. They're trying to find happiness in things. Even if you go down deeper, they're showing that they have power. They have money. They have power to control other life forms. Where does that desire come from? I think it comes from a place of fear. The fear of dying, fear of pain, of suffering. Well, you know what? Life has happiness and joy and pain and suffering. I'm happy to be out here. I made a long video already. My arm is actually kind of sore. My shoulder's a little sore from holding this GoPro and the selfie thing it's on. But I'm happy to be out here. Doobie's probably tired. I mean, she's been hiking for almost 2 miles now. That's sort of her limit. But it's a part. Pain is a part of the pleasure of being alive. I think the people that try to amass immense amounts of wealth and power are actually very afraid of existing. They have this need to feel like they need to control other life forms. So yeah, I would think of it that way. When you see these people flaunting their mega yachts or Lamborghinis or private jets, or their their fifth vacation this month to like some exotic place, or they're popping like some champagne that's like thousands of dollars. I'm just like, just know that, you know, that's not how you find happiness. Instagram. Oh, so you were saying that you were seeing this on Instagram. Now, I don't use Instagram, but my wife used to use Instagram, and she would tell me about it. Instagram is a very, very effective marketing machine. It makes you feel like you're lacking. It is like an advertisement for everything you could possibly buy. It shows other people seemingly happy buying and using and consuming, and it makes other people want to buy and consume the same things in the hopes that they'll find this happiness. But that is illusory. It doesn't happen that way. But what does happen is corporations make a ton of money off of people seeing that on Instagram and then wanting to have that for themselves. I would say be careful with Instagram. It's essentially a very effective advertising billboard for consumption. And it taps into this desire for happiness and peace. And it gives you an illusion that you can attain it by buying stuff. So I just be careful with that. Now let me make sure I have addressed all the points in your question. So you said you hate seeing these guys on Instagram having...
That was a very succinct way to put how Instagram works. I think that's a much better, eloquent way to put it than a lot of other ways. It is just made, Instagram is made so that you desire things, so that you try to buy those things, or try to live like the people you see on Instagram. Yeah. Very eloquently put.
The Lambos and flexing everything. So we talked about that. What goal should I set for my own life to avoid comparison? Well, I think if you understand where they're coming from and why they're doing that, and also how Instagram is designed to make you want to buy things that these people are tricking themselves into thinking that they're happy. If you understand all these things, I think that different goal would be like, well, get rid of the Instagram. Go outside. Spend time with people you care about. I'm spending time with my dog. I care about her. I love her. She's so precious. She loves me too. We spend time with my wife, her mommy, and oh, I hear a mosquito. I'm gonna keep moving. Come on, girl. What else? Yeah, you figure out like what's important. What's important to like actually be happy, to be content with life, to find pleasure and pain, and be happy about it. The happiness and peace, they don't come from things. In fact, things make it harder to attain, I think. I need things though, in this culture where I can't just go live in the forest with a loincloth and my baby wolf. Everything is owned in this way of life. All the land is owned. Being homeless is a crime, essentially. So in order to survive in this way of life, I have to have a home that I'm paying for, or an apartment that I'm paying rent for, which is my case. I have to have money to buy food and to pay for electricity and my doggy kibble. We can't just go hunt some small rodents and eat them. Yeah, so I'm not saying that just live without any belongings, because you can't. It's not possible. Even like Ted Kaczynski, like the Unabomber guy, tried to go out and live in the woods in Montana or something in some cabin, and was living off the land, like planting tubers and stuff and eating berries. And even he couldn't manage it. I mean, well, he did end up hurting a lot of people by blowing them up with bombs. And I just, that whole thing seemed pretty illogical to me. Very illogical. The only reason I bring it up is that he tried to go live without any belongings, but even he couldn't, because he had to have land and he had to have a cabin and he had to pay taxes. Even though he didn't have, I don't think he had electricity going to the cabin, he still has to pay property tax. He had neighbors. He had to deal with neighbors. He couldn't just migrate around to different forests based on the seasons. He had to stay put on his piece of land. Even the Unabomber couldn't escape the system. Ironically, he ended up spending the remainder of his life in maximum security prison, without any access to nature, in literally a concrete and steel building with electrical lights, artificial lights. That's a very ironic ending to the life of a man who hated civilization. It's very, very ironic. Yeah, so I would just try to listen to yourself, figure out what makes you happy. I think it comes from inside. And I think there's like some sacrifice you have to make to like still interface with this civilization. But you can do it mindfully in a way that preserves some of your own dignity. That comes to another question from another viewer of how do you make a living without being exploited in the system. So I'm gonna make a different video about that. Well, that's my best effort at answering your question, Pedro. If other people have any suggestions, please comment for Pedro and me and everyone else. Bye.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Let's see what people commented. The lessons learned from gaining wealth is finding out that wealth and happiness don't go together. Wealth can bring pleasure, but pleasure is not happiness. This has been my belief for years, and I do appreciate your putting this out there. What has made me happy is my dog, learning a musical instrument, dancing around the house, singing together with others, doing something creative, even making a new recipe of your own invention. Gooby, your channel is like a nature walk to clear the mind. Thank you for these videos. Avoiding comparison means be at peace with yourself. If you are comparing, you already know what that means. LMFAO, big circle jerk, truer words have never been spoken. In my youth, I never wanted a sports car. They do nothing for me. Give me $1 billion and I would still prefer walking, biking, and public transport. The only car I need is the one that works when I need it. Instagram is dangerous, but it can also be a medium for you to spread your message. More people should hear what you have to say. I had money or not, I always, all my life, been a frugal person. I never compare myself with nobody. I know who I am and what I am. People who focus on external growth demonstrate their lack of internal growth. That was an interesting video. I wonder what this one is about. Let's check it out.
Hello. Today, I'd like to talk about the rebirth of a river. There's a river in California, and it goes into Oregon. It's on the border, called the Klamath River. Klamath. And it's part of a very interesting story to me. Might be interesting to you too, so that's why I wanted to talk about it today. The Klamath River is a river that flows into the Pacific Ocean, and it goes through some pretty rugged mountains on the California coast.
Nope, not interested in that. Not interested in that video. That's why I got half the views. Let's see, what is mental health in a culture with a death urge? PY. Okay, well, let's see this one. First, let's see Living in Peru, my friend Dylan. Let's see that one first.
Hello, you beautiful people. So today I'm in a quite different location than I probably normally am. I feel like you can still kind of see the nature behind me, only just, but yeah.
Funny, it's like 5 seconds and peeps know whether they like the vid or not. Yep, it depends on the topic. Depends on the topic.
Lots of crazy stuff, lots of crazy updates, but first and foremost, the reason I'm out here and not in my, I guess, normal spot is I kind of blew out my leg a little bit. Nothing serious, I'll be fine, I don't need doctor attention or anything like that, but just don't want to really make it worse. Basically, I was walking around in the house at night, and it gets pretty dark here, there's not like street lights outside or anything, I just didn't have my flashlight on, my phone was across the house, so basically there's like this ledge in the house somewhere, and I thought I knew where it was, so I like pre-stepped and missed, and basically hurt my leg and my knee. I ended up hitting the ground, but I can walk around, I'm fine, but it's just painful, so it'll heal itself up, not really worried about that. But the crazy news, which you're probably more interested in, is the cat, Boba. Boba is very good. There's this cat that's next door that's named Tito that they've been hanging out a lot, and we were worried that she was going to get pregnant, essentially. So yeah, we basically started looking for vets, I guess we have doctors, vets, to do the spaying and to take care of it all, because we really don't want a pregnant cat. That's something we really don't want, and yeah, so we've been crazy. We've taken her to a couple vets, and both of them recommended that we get her spayed, if there is a male cat nearby. So anyway, we start doing that. First of all, it's kind of a pain because Boba does not like to go into town. Boba does not like to leave the house unless it's on her own terms. So yeah, essentially, we had to get the cat, drag her into town, and bring her to the vet, and then the vet wanted to do like all this blood work and stuff, which we were really glad about, because not only has Boba been hanging out with this other male cat, Tito, but also she's had like this throat thing where it's like she's been gargling almost something. It sounds really bad. But we took her, got her blood work done, made sure she was going to get spayed, and then everything was copacetic, she was good. We took her back home for the night, and she was ready for the next day. The poor thing has a little bit of like a shaved thing on her like wrist, on her arm, where they took her blood to like check and make sure that she is healthy and everything. Anyway, we're all set. We get there. We had to go in like 7:30 in the morning. The next day we had to go in again at 7:30 in the morning to get it all figured out. So we go in, we bring her in, and me and my partner plan on a bunch of stuff to get done while she is getting spayed, and then we'll deal with her care when we get back. We got a few things to give her the right care that she needed, but we were mostly gonna have to get most of that stuff from the actual vet themselves. So anyway, we're going out. We get breakfast. We're getting ready to go to the bank, and we get a call before food actually comes at the breakfast place that we're at. And essentially, what happened was the vet calls and says, "Hey, there's something not right. We need you to come in." And at this point, both me and my partner started to freak out because we're like, "We mean there's something not right. Like, is she okay? Is she hurt?" And he was like, "No, you need to come in. She's fine, but you do need to come in. Something's wrong." So I leave my partner at the restaurant, the breakfast place, to get food since there was nothing wrong. And while we were waiting for food, I went to go check out and see what was wrong with the cat, because it wasn't really that far. We literally walked from the cat's, or we dropped the cat off to get breakfast. I show back up, and the vet's like, "Hey, I have to show you something." And I was like, "Oh God, what's wrong with the cat? Like, what do you have to show us?" So basically, the vet pulls the cat out, who has already started receiving anesthesia and is like oxygen and is under. And basically, as the vet pulls her out and puts her on the table and like lifts her leg, the vet points out like, so basically this whole conversation in Spanish. The vet's like, "So your cat's a girl, huh?" And I was like, yeah, that's what the other vets had told us. And he was like, "Well, no, she's not." And he lifts her back leg, and there are two little tiny baby kitten bowls on the cat. And so basically, this cat was not a girl. Boba's not a her. Boba is a he. Boba's a man. I guess a boy. So that was a really interesting turn of events, as in one way, a lot of anxiety kind of came off of my partner, because now we knew for a fact that, or at least I knew for a fact that, I think I zoomed in, I did zoom, I'm still zooming in, let's zoom out. There we go. My partner knew, or at least I knew for a fact that the cat wasn't going to get pregnant. But the problem is now that the cat is under anesthesia, and the vet had taken us at our word, and did check before starting the procedure, but took us at our word that Boba was a her and not a he. So there was no ovaries to go find. So I'm really glad that the vet had the foresight to check and look. Basically, telling the story, this has happened a lot here.
So clever that you play all your YouTube vids at 1.5 speed, such an efficient use of time. This is double speed, I believe. Yeah, maybe it's too fast, but yeah, I'm saving time by... Yep.
Basically, either people assuming gender or vets who aren't actually vets that are pretending to know what the gender is, and being wrong even about that. And essentially, yeah, they go searching in for ovaries that aren't there and end up closing the cat and causing a bunch of damage, and there's actually nothing to remove. So anyway, Boba will not receive his neutering until he's 10 months old, because he is not, it's too early to do it for him. So yeah, my girl cat's a boy. It's very interesting that this has happened on Pride Month. A lot of my friends that celebrate Pride Month, I guess, for themselves, I guess, yeah, I don't know how to say this properly. I celebrate with them, but people who are celebratory of Pride Month because it applies to them and their lifestyle choices. Some of my friends that is in that group, all of them found it very, very funny, and the timing to be very, very funny as well. So that's really what's going on here. Otherwise, I've just been kind of limping around the house. This leg thing happened last night, so nothing too crazy on that front. So, but yeah, crazy things happen in Peru. Yeah, you live with a cat for 2 months thinking it's a boy, and because you took it to a vet and that's what they told you, and you find out that it's a girl. And now you might be thinking, you could just look and tell. It's actually, I've never had a cat before, and it's not as easy as dogs. Like dogs, it's very, very clear if you're working with a boy or a girl. For cats, like they have hair around their balls, so it almost blends into their fur. And then the other parts of the anatomy where the urine would come out, I'll put it that way because I don't want to get too technical and get in trouble on YouTube. I really don't know the rules and that kind of stuff. It could just as easily, it could be interchangeable. It's really hard to tell. So anyway, that was the fun and events of now. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you guys very, very soon.
Okay, that was interesting. And where is, yeah, let's see this.
Hello. Today, I'd like to talk about mental health. and a killer on the loose in the forest. Well, Doobie and I are here. Here's Doobie. And she's in the sling. We've been hiking.
So cute. Let's see. Let's see. And normal speed.
And a killer on the loose in the forest. Well, Doobie and I are here. Here's Doobie.
So cute. Same breed as Mochi, Katon de Tuliar. I think Mochi's cuter, but Doobie has a better personality.
She's in the sling. We've been hiking for a little bit, and she's tired. We're in the forest, but thankfully not in the forest where this killer's on the loose. So, a quick public service announcement. So, it is early June 2025, and there is a murderer on the loose in the wilderness mountain trails of Washington, Cascade Mountains. This guy, his name Travis Decker, is a ex-army guy, I think with training in specialized mountain warfare. And he murdered his 3 daughters and abandoned his truck at a campground just west of Leavenworth in the Cascade Mountains. This past the Enchantments Trail. A lot of people know that one. That's a very popular trail. But it's also right next to the Pacific Crest Trail, which a lot of people know that one. That's a trail that goes from Mexico all the way to Canada. It's 2,660 miles long. And apparently this guy was Googling how to sneak into Canada, and so before he did this heinous act. So this guy is trained to survive out in the mountains, and he is in the mountains right now, and probably unstable mind. And he's going on a trail that I've been on several times. I was just on it earlier this week, but not in. I was on the Pacific Crest Trail earlier this week, just not on that part. Well, a manhunt in the wilderness is very difficult to do, even if you have drones. I'm not in that wilderness, but I mean, look above me. There's a bunch of tree cover. And trees are nice. I love trees. It's a hot day, but down here at the forest floor, it's actually pleasant temperature. It's warm, but it's not overwhelmingly hot, and I'm not getting sunburned. I love being in the forest. The trees are amazing, but it makes a manhunt very difficult. Even if you have helicopters and drones and airplanes searching from air, even if they have like thermal cameras, they're not going to be able to see through the dense foliage in the wilderness. And these places are so remote, it's very hard to get there by car or dirt bike or ATV. ATV won't even work on a lot of these places. Now that with a dirt bike, you literally have to go by foot. And there's those things. So there's traps that you can fall into. But I think that a lot of this actually is a dysfunction of the way we live. It's a product of the way we've chosen to live because we had choice. A lot of the choices of the way we live were made by people before us who are dead, or people that were older than us who are still alive, and some of the choices were made by us.
Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was off. My bad. In that setting. So let me just watch a bit more of this.
While we're alive. I'm still recovering from. Why do I say that? I say that because this way of life depends on cutting down trees to grow food. This culture is driven by ego, by this selfish urge to prolong the experience of the individual infinitely, forever, to gain immortality and infinite power of the individual. I mean, we got billionaires trying to preserve their consciousness on computers, which is totally ridiculous to me. Hi. To think that you can preserve your consciousness and live on through a computer and AI is lunacy. Is lunacy, because we don't even understand consciousness. And to think that you can store it on a computer and live on the rest of your life infinitely as long as the computer is running is, I want to say a word, bat something crazy. I don't want to say it because then I curse and then YouTube says it's not good for advertisers. But I guess I was already talking about infanticide, so I don't know. Let's see if they still monetize this video. Yeah, there's people I want, it's just like this, it's a crazy, crazy urge. I was making videos talking about how there could be a hypothetical way to survive this collapse of civilization that's precipitated by dwindling or harder to get resources, energy resources, fossil fuel resources, but is amalgamation of a whole bunch of different problems. Ecosystem collapse, ecosystem decline because we're cutting down forests, degradation of soils, climate change, warming of the atmosphere due to greenhouse gases, CO2 and methane, released from forest deforestation and us burning fossil fuels. Disinformation, misinformation, the artificial intelligence used by wealthy people and corporations to essentially mind control people through essentially bot swarms on social media and media.
Okay, I think that's enough. Let me silence my phone in case. Yeah. Wow, that is a lot of YouTube watching. It's been 3 hours and 8 minutes of streaming this, so. Muffin! Muffin! Muffin. Come here. Let me scratch you. You want food? Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'll watch this. Muffin. Oh, you have tears. Let me wipe your tears. Wait. Wait, let me wipe your tears. Wait. Wait. Okay. Look at these brown, you can't see it in the light, but it's brown tears from Muffin's eyes. Okay. I think I'll call it a day for streaming. Oh, T-Cock Flux. Sup? Oh, wait. A great stream, one of the best YouTube streams I have ever seen. A legend is made. Any updates on the tattoo removal? Let me show you. It's after the third session. And it's disappearing a bit more, as you can see. I can't see it that well when I look at it right here, but when you look at it in camera, you're starting to see more of it, and it disappears over the weeks after the laser session. So this is the third, and there's 4 and 5 remaining. So I don't know how much of it will disappear after 5. Maybe not the outline. Maybe the outline will still be there. But I feel like the inside will be mostly clear. How many more sessions you think is needed? That tattoo looks dope, not gonna lie. Yeah, it's funny because my girlfriend actually likes the tattoo and thinks it looks cool. But I'm already in the process of getting rid of it, so yeah, I think I'll go all the way. Why are you removing? I feel like an aesthetic body is a clean body, and tattoos just like it covers up my shoulder line. Once I develop my shoulders more, I want my shoulder definition to show instead of the tattoo covering it up. So I gotta work hard on my shoulders. At least that I can still work out even with my wrist problem. So yeah, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. So we shall see. Maybe this lit nomad I don't want to follow anymore. I don't know. We'll see, depending on his next few videos. You know, from Korea, surprising me again. Alone but not lonely. Love the love that video of him making jjajangmyeon. Yeah, that was good. All right. Let's call it a night. Maybe I'll stream myself playing some games if I feel like it, but this will be it for now. Thanks for tuning in. If you're still here, OPM Tcock Flux. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.